Hi Tribe. I realize that a lot of you are stranded when it comes to how to make the payment to the Central Bank of Kenya for your bids, for your bond bids. And so I'm making this video to show you how I made my payment. Luckily, as I'm making this video or during the process of the sale of this infrastructure bond, I'm in Nairobi, and therefore I was physically available to visit a branch, my bank branch, in order to make this payment. I'm also going to talk about how, if you're in diaspora, you can make this payment, even if I cannot give 100% assurances. And the reason why I can't give 100% assurances is because, as I said, CBK has not done a very good job in terms of communicating communicating to us how to make these payments, making these methods, uniform. Ideally, they should make this payment method uniform so that we don't have to struggle like this. Also, banks at the same time have been struggling with their systems on how these payments should be done. Either way, you need two numbers in order for you to make a successful payment, and these two numbers are your CSD account number, your CSD account number, and then a reference number. How do you get your CSD account number? Log in to your DAO CSD app. So log into your DAO CSD app. Go to settings. I'm not going to show you a screen recording of this because this is very personal information. So log into your DAO CSD app. Click settings. Down there you see a button. Click settings. Click profile info. Right next to profile info on your right you see accounts. And so under accounts you see Central Bank of Kenya. For me it's in brackets individual. And so it's a number that ends with -004. So I can give an example. Maybe it's a number like 5402-004. So that is your CSD account number. That's the first number that you need, so that when, for example, you go to the bank and fill an RTGS form, you'll be asked what is the beneficiary. The beneficiary is your name. Your name. Let's say Agatha Wanjiru, that's the beneficiary. What is the account number that you're wiring money to? That account number that I've shown you. That's how to get that account number. The other number that you need is a reference number. Okay, so I know we've been receiving a lot of text messages, and we've been receiving a lot of emails. That is for those of us who submitted bids. We've been receiving a lot of emails from Central Bank of Kenya or from DAO CSD. I would, for this one, just ignore all the other messages that you've been receiving and concentrate on one message, or rather on one email. The email that has a reference number. Okay, so how does this reference number look like? The reference number that I want you to concentrate on is the reference number that starts with 2023-1108. So this is specific to the IFB, to the infrastructure, but to the November 2023 infrastructure bond. Of course, if you watch this video months later or years later and you're thinking about you want info about your reference number about a specific bond, I'm just trying to show you exactly how a reference number could look like. So for the November 2023 infrastructure bond, the reference number that you need in order for you to make this payment is that number that starts with 2023-1108. And then the rest of the code is unique to you. Okay, so it starts with 2023-1108 -- the rest is unique to you. So those are the two numbers that you need in order for you to make a successful payment. So how did I make my payment? And I'm saying this because the kind of questions that you've been submitting to me through Instagram DM, for example, are you're asking me which is the specific central bank account number should I wire my money to. So you're supposed to wire your money to using those accounts that I've given you. The beneficiary's name is your name. The account number is that CSD account number that you've gotten from our profile section of the DAO CSD. And then a specific reference number. You have to indicate this specific reference number that starts with 2023-1108, blah blah blah. And then how did I make my payment? So I went physically to my bank, and then I filled an RTGS form, and all I did is write my beneficiary name as me, the account number as that one that ends with -004, a reference number that starts with 2023, blah blah blah. I'll show an example on the screen of how that RTGS form looks like and how I filled it in order for you to have an idea of how yours should look like. This is very important because when I went to the bank, I spent more than an hour at my bank, and it's because the cashier or the bank teller that I was dealing with kept insisting that I need to give her one more number, and this one more number is what they are calling a portfolio account number. My bank is Cooperative Bank, so their system shows that I should also provide a portfolio account number. And I kept telling her that a portfolio account number is not useful because, a bit of history when it comes to investing in treasury bonds in Kenya. So those of us who were investing in treasury bonds pre-DAO CSD, before DAO CSD was launched, we had two numbers when making RTGS payments to Central Bank of Kenya. We had what was called the CDS or portfolio number, and then we also had what we called a virtual account number. So now when DAO CSD was launched, the virtual account number was discontinued. Okay, so any person who created their CSD account number after the DAO CSD was launched, then these people, they don't have a virtual account number, because again the virtual account number was discontinued. So it's only people who used to invest in bonds before DAO CSD who have a virtual account number. Therefore, when you're making a payment through the bank, you do not need that virtual account number because they were discontinued. That's the thing that a lot of bank tellers do not know. So I had to keep repeating to this lady that that we no longer use virtual account numbers, and these two numbers that I'm providing her are enough. I even literally had to sit down there, call DAO CSD customer service, ask the customer service to explain to the lady who was serving me that virtual account numbers are not needed. So eventually I didn't provide it. That being said, even if you provide the virtual account number, for those of you who have it, who've been investing since DAO CSD was launched, even if you provide your virtual account number, the transaction should still be able to go through as long as you provide the CSD account number and the reference number that starts with 2023. Okay, yeah, so it should be able to go through. I hope that's clear. And so of course I used Cooperative Bank because that's my bank. Different banks have different systems. I've even helped people. For example, I have a client who uses INM Bank, and so for INM, and maybe I will be able to provide a screenshot of how the INM Bank form looks like. You can see it's the same thing. It's just that the information, the most important information you're supposed to provide in order for this transaction to go through is that CSD account number and the reference number. So the INM system will also ask for other information, but from my knowledge, all that other information is not important. Those two numbers are the ones that are very important. And then, so for example, for INM, they will ask you, there is a part they will ask you what is the price per 100. If you also have a form that is asking what is the price for 100, for this specific bond, the price for 100 is 100 because this bond is being sold at par and not at a premium or at a discount. So just write 100. So, and then if your form is asking, if you're dealing with a bank that is asking you what is the yield to maturity, which they should not be asking you for this specific bond, but sometimes banks like to complicate issues. So for this bank, for this specific bond, if you're asked what is the yield to maturity, just write the coupon date, which was 17.9327. I will indicate that just in case I haven't said the right thing, but it's 17.93 around 27. Yes, that's what you should write. Something else I've learned about through this payment method is that, of course, most banks don't have a system to do an RTGS transfer online. The only one that I've seen people be able to make a successful transfer online at the comfort of their home or wherever they are in the world is Standard Chartered. Standard Chartered seems to be doing things right. This seems that they're a bank that is innovative and moves fast to accommodate their customers' needs. Other banks are still analog, unfortunately. But the one bank or the one system that really surprised me, I learned that it's possible to make this transfer through NCBA Loop, which also reminded me that I created an NCBA Loop account like a few years ago, and then it's been inactive. I've never used it, but I was surprised by someone who shared that they were able to make this payment through NCBA Loop. So they went to NCBA Loop through the app, right? Through an app, filled their details, the beneficiary, the account number, they put their CSD number as I've shown you. There was no part to put the reference number, but NCBA was brilliant enough. They have very good customer service. They were brilliant enough to call this client and ask them, okay, we've seen that you were trying to make a transfer to Central Bank of Kenya. You put your CSD account number, but what is your reference number? And they guided this person on how they can go to their emails and find their reference number. Beautiful, beautiful. So the two banks that have won this time round, Standard Chartered and NCBA, and I thank God I have accounts for those two. So the next time I will not suffer with my bank. What else? If you're Kenyan in the diaspora, a lot of Kenyans in the diaspora have expressed frustration for this process, and I understand them, because as I said, the last time I tried to make that my payment, I was in Dubai and I was unable to make my payment, and that's how I was not able to invest in the bond. But if you are Kenyan in the diaspora, I understand your frustration, and I understand that a lot of you even left comments in my previous video that you've given up, that you placed bids and then canceled the bids and you've given up. I know this might be too late, but at least for next time, try to do either a Swift transfer or an RTGS transfer through wherever you are in the world, whether you're in the UK, in the US, or Dubai. Try and do an RTGS transfer from your bank. But now the difference here is you are going to be asked for a Swift code. You know, now the difference, if you're doing the transfer from Kenya, if you're in Kenya, that's very different. Now this is for Kenyans in diaspora. At least the one thing that will be asked for while you're doing that transfer is a Swift code. And so in that case, you would indicate the CBK Swift code. I'll put it somewhere on this video. You will indicate CBK Swift code and you should be good to go. Don't give up. But then at least, first of all, this is not a paid ad. I do not work for Standard Chartered, I do not work for NCBA, but through this process, at least I've learned that people should try and create accounts with Standard Chartered, because clearly they're the ones who are moving fast enough to serve their clients. So another thing that is very important to share is that if you submitted more than one bid, just like I did, because I submitted one bid while I was showing you guys through my previous video about how to submit a bid for this bond. So I submitted that bid and then later submitted another one. So if you submitted more than one bid, you will have two reference numbers, or rather you will have a unique reference number for each bid. So for me, when I went to the bank, I filled two RTGS forms. So I filled one RTGS form for the first bid and another RTGS form for the second bid. So if you submitted 3 or 4 or 5 bids, remember each of these bids will have different reference numbers starting with that 2023. And for each of these, that means for each of those bids, you need to fill different RTGS forms, or you need to make different payments. Because again, each of them has different reference numbers. Please take note of that. Another way that I've noticed that has worked for a few people throughout this process is for a bank like Cooperative Bank, if you're in the diaspora, people, what they're doing is that they're sending a secure mail. What is a secure mail? You send a secure mail to Cooperative Bank of Kenya, giving them instructions to debit your account, or giving them instructions to make this payment on your behalf. What is a secure mail? A secure mail is where, for the case of Central Bank of Kenya, I don't know about other banks, but in the case of Central Bank of Kenya, is where you log into your online platform, like online internet banking platform. Then there's a part where you will see communications, or then you'll be able to click secure mail and send them a secure mail. Literally for them, because even them, they don't have a definition for this. Literally a secure mail is an email that you send from their platform, either from their bank or from their web platform. So you send them a secure mail with instructions, with the reference number, your CSD account number, and then they'll be able to make the payment on your behalf from your account. There are a few people that have worked, that has worked for them. But for me, the last time I tried to make a payment, not for this infrastructure bond, the last time I bidded earlier in the year, I wasn't able to make that payment yet I sent that secure mail. It did not work. But at least I know one person who, through this process, they debited the account. Now, the other most important question is that how long will it take for our investments amount to reflect? So through the DAO-CSD app, when you log into your DAO-CSD app, the first page you see is the portfolio page. And so right now, if you're already investing in bonds, your portfolio page should show how much money in total have you invested in treasury bonds so far, treasury bills and treasury bonds so far. So if, let's say, for example, so far you have invested 500,000, after today, and today being 14th November, Tuesday, 14th November 2023, after today, the amount of money that you bidded, if your transaction was successful, the amount of money that you bidded should now be added to your portfolio. So for example, if you had only 500,000, you only invested 500,000 in bonds, and let's say you had a bid of 200,000, now your portfolio should read a total of 700,000. That is how you will know that your payment was successful. Unfortunately, imagine there's no other way of knowing. Unfortunately, we just have to be patient throughout this process in order for us to know whether the payment went through or not. Of course, central bank should do better in terms of improving the systems in order for us to know beforehand, because I've seen people was really struggling to understand, did my payment go through, and now people are in panic mode, or people are full of anxiety because you're literally just sitting waiting for 2 p.m. to know whether your payment went through or not. Because even I, who physically went to the bank and gave all that information, even I can never be 100% sure. It's a game of just waiting to see after 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Kenyan time or 2 p.m. Kenyan time whether my payment will have gone through or not. So it's like we are doing guesswork, yet we are dealing with the Central Bank of Kenya. So a recommendation I've seen people make, and of which I fully support, is that this system should be uniform. Like for all banks, systems for paying to the Central Bank of Kenya should be made uniform. It should not have jargon, it should be straightforward, and they should train their staff. Like most banks need to train their bank tellers in order for them to know when you go to them and tell them, I want to pay for an infrastructure bond or I want to pay for a bond, they know what you're referring to. Because I've seen a lot of people, even I included, who went to the bank and you say that is what you want to do, and you feel that just as far, but then the teller or the person who is serving you is like, they have no idea what they're talking about. So yeah, so I hope this is helpful. You need two numbers, a reference number that is unique to you, and your CSD account number which is also unique to you. All right, bye bye.